Could bringing in some characters from the Star Wars Legends, i.e. the EU, the expanded universe, please some of the fans? Could it help save this new franchise? And has Dave Filoni sort of opened up a new way of doing that, or created a possible alternative timeline? We're going to discuss that and more. So we're talking the EU and what is now known as Star Wars Legends. And ever since these Disney movies have come out, I've really wanted to go back and reread these classic novels, which were basically episodes 7, 8, and 9, at the time, because we never thought we were going to get any more movies. So that was like the closest thing we got if you were growing up as a kid in the 90s, or an adult in the 90s. And the future of Star Wars was very uncertain. George had pretty much said he wasn't going to create any more movies. You knew he did have sort of an outline of the of episodes 1, 2, and 3, but it wasn't. Nothing was certain. So we looked forward to these books as the next series of what would have been the movies. And the Timothy Zahn series, the Thrawn trilogy, was fantastic. And it was as exciting as it could be. And then Shadows of the Empire came out, and that was basically, it was promoted like a movie. It had the toys, the action figures, which I had all of them. It had the video game, which was fantastic. You got to take on Boba Fett. It was the episode, or what would have been, it was the story between Empire Strikes Back and Return of the Jedi. It introduced a great criminal underground element with the Black Sun, and then Prince Zazor. It was a really cool book, and the way they promoted it, it was like that really was like a movie. That was the closest thing we had to a movie. We had the game, so we could at least kind of visualize some of it, and there was a graphic novel to it as well. So going back and wanting to get into all this stuff recently, I think because of sort of the disappointment in the new trilogy, well, specifically The Last Jedi, and how it's kind of just changed everything so drastically, it's made me want to go back. And now I know I've had this conversation with some people on Twitter, on my Twitter feed, and I know someone had pointed out that they are making audio versions of the novels, of the Timothy Zahn novels, that are, they have voice actors that act out the characters, and apparently it's great. So that is the next thing I'm going to go and do. I'm going to get those audio books to listen to. But it just makes me want to go back and get the EU stuff, the old legend, well, now the Legends stuff. And I was thinking, they've already brought Thrawn into Rebels. Dave Filoni brought him in, in a different way, but they've kind of started including some elements of the expanded universe. And I wondered, what else could they do to maybe bring in some old characters in a sort of new way, which would maybe please some fans, maybe get, kind of bring us back to those warm, fuzzy memories we have of thinking back on those books. The Prince Zazor character, I think, was a really cool character. He was in charge of the Black Sun, which they've already kind of brought into the mix now of the canonized version of Star Wars. That book, Shadows of the Empire, kind of dealt a little more with the Empire needing to work with the Black Sun to for its resources. And I think that would be kind of a cool place to go. Maybe they could sort of incorporate that with the live action series that Jon Favreau is developing. That might be a good place to put something like that, a storyline like that. Maybe bring in Prince Zazor. It wouldn't be the same timeline, but they did Thrawn into. They brought him into a different timeline than was originally he was originally written into. And it kind of worked pretty well. I liked what they did with it. There's been one Thrawn book, and now they're coming out with a new one where him and Vader team up in some way. It hasn't been released yet, so we don't know the full scope of their relationship together. But it's kind of a cool idea. The other point was Dave Filoni kind of did something interesting with the World Between Worlds episode in Rebels, where he sort of introduced this ether realm of the Force, where you can go in. Well, technically, you'd have to be a Jedi and you'd have to know how to activate this portal, but you can go in and sort of change events from the past, and it makes me wonder, could there be another timeline that has occurred, which the Star Wars Legends, the EU stuff, happened. All that stuff happened in this separate timeline that somehow was changed at some point in history, through someone activating this portal and going into the world between worlds and changing things. Very interesting theory. The Emperor Palpatine was very aware of this, as we've seen in Rebels. He knew about this portal and he knew how to work it, or he sort of knew how to work it. Ezra was the one who really activated it and saved Ahsoka's life, brought her out of being destroyed by Vader. So it makes you think, could something else have happened, or later on could they develop a story where the EU did take place and then someone changed the timeline and now we have the canon we have now? Is that why Luke in the novelization of The Last Jedi had a dream where he was married to Mara Jade? Well, that's who Mara Jade. It's very interesting to think about, and it opens up some possibilities. Dave Filoni is a genius, in my point of view. So, guys, let me know what you think. Do you miss the EU stuff? Do you think that some of the things could be brought in? They brought Thrawn in. Did you like that? Could you see them bringing more in to kind of fill out this new franchise and maybe get the fan base reunited again? Let me know what you think down in the comments below, and if you liked the video, give the old thumbs up. And I am on Twitter, so you can follow me. It's Final Death Star on Twitter, Instagram. So thanks for watching, guys, and subscribe to see more content. Until next time, lock the doors and hope they don't have blasters.